Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how I achieve this full look. I have called it my kind of everyday makeup because it is the makeup that I go to. It's one of my favourite looks to do. It's super natch for me and it's relatively easy as well, so I hope you guys like it. And obviously I'm going to show you how to do the faux freckle. I really hope you guys like this tutorial, and if you'd like to see how I create this look, stay tuned. Okay, let's just start. First thing I'm going to use is the Daily Reviving Concentrate from Kiehls. This is one of my favourite oils, so you use this every morning, and I have been using it every morning for, I would say, at least like 3 weeks. So I get some drops, maybe about 4 or 5, and I'm just going to rub that into my skin. When I'm doing my daily makeup, my go-to everyday makeup, my favourite thing about it is just having really fresh, dewy skin. So this really helps with that, and also I think it's just helping balance my skin. It helps with my redness, and it's just kind of sorting my skin out really. I've got a couple of blemishes, but I'm a lady and things are happening this week that, you know, you can't avoid it. You can't not have these things. So yeah, once I've rubbed that into my skin, I'm going to go in with the Kiehls Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. This is my go-to eye cream. I use it day and night. If you guys have me on Snapchat, you probably will have seen me talking about my skincare and things like that. So I'm just going to get a little kind of grain of rice size amount on my ring finger. And one of you guys told me in the comments the last time I used this that it's much better to warm it up in your fingers first. And then I'm just going to apply that under my eyes. And then the excess just goes over my brow. Okay, once I've done that, I'm actually not going to use a primer or moisturiser today, just because I want to see how the foundation goes on with just the oil. I tried this yesterday and it was beautiful, so I want to try it again. The foundation I'm going to use is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation in the shade Light Sand. I'm going to give this a big shake. You need to shake this product because it's quite liquidy, it's quite a watery foundation. I was trying out a lighter kind of coverage foundation and I tried this and I really like it. So once I've done that, it's a dropper bottle, so you just push the top in and then I'm just going to pop that in the back of my hand. Even though it's a lighter coverage foundation, I do like to still get about 2 pumps of this, and I'm going to apply that with my beauty blender. So you'll see as soon as I pop it on. It does give a really nice coverage, but it's just so lightweight, and because I'm kind of more skin focused these days, I am digging it, guys. And it's just super easy, and I wore it all day yesterday and the day before and it wore beautifully. And as always, I do like to kind of go a little bit over my lips just to kind of hide the pigment of them because they are so red naturally. And you'll see I've got some kind of scarring on my forehead at the moment because I've had some problems with my skin, just blemishes, the usual. They are slowly but surely healing up nice, and that just covers them without being so full coverage that it looks cakey, but it just covers up the redness nicely. And again, because I'm using all my oils underneath, it's super fresh. And I'm leaving out my under eyes because I'm going to go in with concealer as usual under there. Okay, for concealer I'm going to use the Maybelline Eraser Eye. The shade I use is light, so I'm going to just use dots to start putting that on underneath my eyes, just the kind of same shape I usually go for, the kind of slight triangle. And I'm actually going to bring that right down the side of my nose this time, and underneath, and then on my chin as well, and my nose, and my forehead. And then I'm just going to beauty blend that in as well. And that just adds just a right amount of coverage that I'm looking for while using a lightweight foundation. And then I'm just going to go right under my eyes. Now I'm going to go in with my Layin Low Paint Pot, and I'm just going to go in with the top of my beauty blender, and I'm just going to pop that over my lid. I'm sure you guys have noticed already, but I actually have lash extensions. This is my first time getting them done, and oh my god, I love them. Getting these lash extensions was so easy. I'll talk a little bit more about them when I go to do my makeup. So I'm just kind of going, I'm careful to put my primer on because I only want a little tiny bit, because my go-to eye look these days is actually really light eyeshadow. It's more about the skin. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go in with my Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, and this is the shade Sunkissed. So this is almost like a kind of liquid bronzer, and it's the same kind of idea. It's a dropper bottle, so I'm going to go in and get a little touch in the back of my hand, and this stuff just warms up the skin so beautifully. I love it. So I'm going to show you guys how I apply that with my beauty blender. So just under my cheekbone, and then I'm going to use the kind of chunkier side of the beauty blender just to kind of help blend that into the skin. And I'm just using this to warm up my skin more than anything. I'm not actually proper contouring with it or anything. I'm just warming up my skin. And it just gives a really natural sun-kissed look to your foundation. If you are going on holiday or you don't like really wearing makeup during the day, a little touch of this just on your cheeks gives a really nice sun-kissed glow, a nice kind of contour to the skin without being powdery or harsh. And even though it's cream, it's a wee bit crazy to work with if you're so used to a powder bronzer, but with your beauty blender, it's easy. Now I'm still going to set my face just because I don't want anything to move, and this is going to be a really kind of creamy look. I'm going to use my favourite Kat Von D translucent powder, and I'm just going to kind of semi-bake underneath my eyes. So going in with my damp beauty blender. You can use a little bit of that powder just the sides of your nose and upper lip if you're like me, and that's kind of where you tend to get oily the most. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and this is in the shade, I don't know what shade it is. I know this is the lighter one. There's two versions and this is the lighter one. And the brush I'm going to use is actually the Charlotte Tilbury Powder and Sculpt brush, so they're going to go hand in hand. This brush is so good, wait till you see me use it. So I'm going to go in with the Sculpt shade first, and I'm just going to lightly start to apply that at the very backs of my cheekbones. And then little kind of circular movements. And this brush was made so you can actually use the brush on its side if you want, which is cool. And I'm leaving it pretty natural again. And then this brush has got a nice kind of little tip to it, so I'm actually going to use that just to kind of dust down the sides of my nose and get right in just where the brow starts as well. Now that's done, most of my powders just kind of set into my skin, but I'm going to take my little Charlotte Tilbury Magic Complexion brush. I think this is actually for foundation, but I'm just going to use that underneath my eyes to get rid of any excess powder and just smooth all that out. Fab. This is the quickest makeup ever. Now, because I want this super glowy, glossy, wet skin, I'm going to go in with the Iconic London Illuminator. Same idea, dropper bottle, so on the back of my hand. And I actually, after using this product quite a lot, I feel like my favourite way to apply it is straight with my beauty blender. So I'm going to go in with the kind of chunkier end of the beauty blender and just apply that right on top of my cheekbones and then up towards the temples. I can guarantee you if you wear this highlight, at least about 3 people will be like, oh my god, what are you wearing on your cheek? So I'm being careful just to apply that right onto the cheekbone. I don't want it everywhere, because it is really, really highlighty. And then I'm going to go back to the Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I'm going to go in with the highlighter shade of this with my little Luxie eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to apply that to my Cupid's bow, very tip of my nose, and then just down the bridge as well. And while I'm at it, I'm actually going to apply just a touch on my inner corner. Now I'm going to go straight into my eyes. I'm actually going to use some Makeup Geek shadows because I've not used them in ages and I miss them. So this is my little palette that I made, and I'm just going to go in with this shade here, which is Beaches and Cream, and then Frappe just to darken up my crease a little bit, and that's pretty much it today. So I'm going to go in with my MAC 224 in the shade Beaches and Cream. I'm just going to set my eye, and I give my brush a good wiggle because I want that primer to diffuse nicely. I don't want any lines. Now, once I've mattified that, I'm going to go in with the shade Frappe from Makeup Geek and the same brush, and I'm going to keep my eyes open and just apply that to my crease. And I'm bringing that quite far up because I want my eyes to look nice and big. And then obviously, because I have my lash extensions on, the eye look looks like finished in 2 seconds. So if you are very much a on-the-go person and it takes half the time to look presentable, really I can leave the house with no makeup on and still feel pretty put together. They feel like nothing. The lashes I got are faux mink, so they're cruelty free. And I got something called Classics in between, which is they're not as fluffy, but we've got a mix of those. And I just love the result. I think they're so nice. And the girl who did them for me, she's called Isabel, and she works at Onyx, which is where I used to work. So I'll link her page down below if you're in Glasgow and you fancy getting some lash extensions, because she honestly is the best. They feel like nothing on my eyes. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Frappe again, and I'm going to go in with I'm going to go in with the 231 from Zoeva and the shade Frappe, and I'm going to just start to build that up underneath my eyes. And this just kind of helps set underneath the eye as well, the more kind of eyeshadow you pop on. It doesn't need to be a dark shade, remember, you can still really smoke it out. I'm going to go in with my 224 now in the same shade Frappe and just buff that out even more. I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of Cocoa Bear, which is this really nice warm brown shade from Makeup Geek. You may remember it as one of my favourites. And I'm just going to add that underneath my lash line as well. You guys know I like to add a darker eyeshadow underneath my eye. Now obviously my lash extensions are totally sorted on top, so I'm just going to focus on the mascara on the bottom of my eye. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Fake Awake pencil from Tarte. I talked about this in my last video, I love it. It's super brightening under the eye, it lasts all day, it doesn't move, so I just really enjoy it. Wide Awake, I get why it's called, or Fake Awake it's called, I get it. Now I'm going to use my Mad Lash Mascara from the Balm. You guys know that I love it. For bottom lashes it's perfect because the brush is nice and curved and it's a plastic brush, so it's not going to go everywhere. And I'm just going to slowly but surely build up my bottom lashes to match my top. Just wipe my hand in the back of my joggies. I'm going to go into brows now. So brows, with these fluffy lashes and this more dewy skin, I want to go for more of a semi-natch brow. So I'm going to go through my brows with my spoolie, just make sure all the hairs are going in the right place. I'm going to bring this mirror closer to me because this is freaking hard. My camera's going to die again. God damn it, why me? Hooters! Yeah, okay, I forget about it. I like this one better. I'm just going to smudge that gel away. Okay, I prefer this eyebrow. I'm going to take this one off. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to bloody try. Oh god, this is going to be so messy. Oh, this is truly terrible. This is so terrible. So I'm just going to take some of my Derma Clear micellar water and I'm going to take this flipping brow off because I don't like it. I think I just want them more natural than they are, and it's pissing me off now. Because every time I go and fill them in, they look too bushy. Okay, everything's going to be fine. So I'm going to go in with the clear brow gel first, and I'm just going to go through my eyebrows. So I feel like the longer you work with this gel, it starts to set and then you can really shape them, you know? And then I'm going to go in very carefully with this brown one. So it's annoying because I really love this brow gel and I think it's amazing, but it's so messy, man. Yeah, look, see this one? Oh, like that's my favourite thing I've ever seen. Maybe not ever seen, that's a bit much. I'm going to break up with my eyebrows. And then I'm just going to use the very tip of the brush just to move these hairs into place. So gently. Okay, I can get down with that. That's fine, let's just freaking leave it there. Okay, so now that I've fought with my eyebrows, I'm going to slightly highlight my brow bone with the highlight shade in the Film Star palette. Next thing I'm going to do is my lips. So I'm going to use, this is like super heavy Charlotte Tilbury, I've just realised, but I really like it just now, so just go with me, it's not sponsored, I promise. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner, which is beautiful. So just going up the natural lip line at the sides of my lips. Natural lip line. And then when I get to the top, I just go straight across. And then I start to overdraw this shape. And it just makes my lips look nice and full in the centre, but not too wide, if you know what I mean. I think I started getting a little bit crazy with the overlining. And the lip product I'm going to use is my favourite Tarte Salty Lip Paint. I just love this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hydrate my lips. So that just kind of... why is there a dog hair in my mouth? And then I'm going to just apply this Tarte lip paint in Salty over the lip balm. And then I'm just going to pat that in. I've got such a bad habit of doing this. When people tell you that your lips are too overdrawn. And then I just kind of pat it in until it starts to mattify down. And that's the cutest. To finish this tutorial off, one of my favourite things that I've been doing lately is faux freckles. So I'm going to show you guys how I have been doing that. There's tons of tutorials on these. First thing I do is I just apply a little darker dot over my real freckle with my Kat Von D liner in the shade It's Worn Off, maybe dark brown or medium brown. I go over top with my brow pencil. And that just kind of dulls it down a little bit. It pushes the product into the skin so it's not so obvious as well. Okay, so let's try this. This might work. I'm going to use my pen from Kat Von D and I'm using my brow gel from Illamasqua, and I'm just going to go and pick some of that up with my little pen. Oh god, that works great. Okay. So don't freak out because they look really dark at first, but there's method to the madness. Oh my god, that's really nice. So that nice fine tip's actually perfect. So when you're doing them, just make sure that they're scattered, make sure that you go onto your nose a little bit, make sure they're all kind of not the same size, they're not all symmetrical as well. You can use like reference images as well. If you want, if you've seen someone that you really like. So I'm still just kind of going in with this brow gel and dotting it around. You don't have to do tons as well, you can just do like a few. Like some people like to have a little accent freckle, so like mine on my little cheek, or some people like them just to kind of above the lip. That's really cute. Whatever you want, it's a free world. And now I'm going to go on top of those and with my brow pencil, and I'm just going to pat them back. And then, once I've done my kind of first layer of freckles, I'm just going to use my beauty blender over them, which this really fades them down. And you can almost really like dab some away so they're super faint, because if you look at people with real freckles, not all of them are the same kind of colour. Some are more pronounced, some are darker, some are bigger. So that's the kind of first stage, and then I'm just going to do the same process again. I'm going to make some of them larger, I'm going to make some of them a little bit darker. And this is a good way to do it without actually having to use different colours of like brown or whatever. I've seen some people use eyeshadow as well and that looks really nice. And I've got some real freckles on my face as well, so I just kind of go over those really. So you guys, that is the finished look. Some trials and tribulations there with the little brows. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. This is probably how I could happily do my makeup every day, feel comfortable and confident, and yeah, I just really like the fake freckles. I think they're so cute. Not overly too difficult as well actually, it's really easy to do. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Do let me know down below if there's anything that you guys would like to see from me. Remember and give it a little thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll never get used to asking that, but please do, that would be great. And I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye! Peep that glow, peep that glow.